Rightio, welcome to Gauntlet Hangouts online role-playing tabletop games. This is Eotenweard, if I can pronounce it properly. I'm Blake, I'll be the MC. Now, Eotenweard is Dark Ages England in the 700 period, so post-Roman, pre-Christian solidified England. And there's some sort of supernatural elements, but it's not saturated with it. It's PBTA rules, not inspired by. Initially, it was sort of Monster of the Week, and then it got changed, and it evolved into something more and richer and deeper, and yeah, it's just very much its own thing by now. Its great granddaddy was Monster of the Week, you might say. I've got some charming and debonair players from the Fair Isle themselves who are just eager to introduce themselves. We'll start with Paul.
Hello, I'm Paul, he, him. I have played with all my fellow players and GMs here before, and the character I'm playing is Bull, the lowly commoner. He's pretty down to earth. Thinking is not his thing, and he's a little bit lazy. But he does indeed believe in justice, even from the bottom of the muck pile. That's me.
Cool.
Will?
Yep, sorry. And hi, my name is Will, pronouns he, him, and I'm playing Blackwin, the Hammer of the Gods, who has appeared in, I think, 3 Eotenweards previously.
And I'm Alan, he, him. I'm playing the Storyteller playbook, and I'm playing Ventusius, a Celtic bard come scald, Celtic man with travel-stained clothes who is often seen staring into the distance, and I think he's surprisingly courageous for a reasonably frail individual. This is the first time I've played Eotenweard, though I have played with all of these fine people before. So I'm looking forward to this game.
As soon as you said bard, I thought about the Asterix comics, where everything is they're having a feast, and then there's a bard tied up around the tree off to the side. Ah, dear, show my age. Okay, put roll for your party in the chat already. Oh, X cards on the table. If anyone feels uncomfortable with something, say X, or just let us know, and we'll redo that bit or skip around it. Usual, no sexual violence, no violence against kids, but I can't see any of that coming up anyway, to be honest. Yes, and we need to do some, what do you call them? Things between you. Where is it?
Debts of honor?
Debts of honor, that's the word I'm looking for. So, does anyone not have a... All right, so does Bull and Blackwin have any debts of honor together? I don't think they do they?
I've never played this character with either of these characters before.
No. Okay, so we need to link them in some way.
Does anyone have? Sorry, I do have it on another computer, but the Eotenweard playbooks and rules.
Okay, where's that?
I'm pretty sure at least one person here does.
All right, so bloody Google Drives. Okay, so give me the shareable link. Okay, so
Thank you.
None of these characters have met before.
No, I mean, Blackwin is destined to meet everybody but his daughter, I think.
That's a very deep cut for those of you following along with the Eotenweard saga.
Thank you.
I never know. Or they'll meet and then it'll be in a fight and they'll die in that fight or something. Something suitably Shakespearean tragic.
Do we have edit on the sheet?
Should be able to.
I can, but I requested it, Blake. So you may need to copy the updated link to everybody.
Right, I should reopen it. But... Yeah, anyone with a link can edit. Yeah. Right, so for anyone watching, we're just trying to get debts of honor, which is just like links for events between the characters, how they know each other and how they feel about each other, to give them some sort of ties for, rather than just complete strangers that decide to mysteriously trust each other because it's convenient. All right, so are you all able to edit the sheet now?
Yep.
All right, and playbook's all in the drive.
Gosh, I see Paul. Bull has certainly been around the Eotenweard scene, hasn't he?
I think I've only played him twice. In all fairness, it was Black Benez before that was my character. He just disappeared.
But he's met Aedwin, Godric, Yaman. Just this.
He does put himself about, I think. Does Bull. Always full of good advice is Bull.
I'll take that as you meant it, Alan.
Okay. Should we go around the table, or
Yeah, take turns. If anyone finds one that's particularly interesting, throw it out there.
I think the two. So someone once stood between me and my revenge to save me from a greater evil. What happened, and owe them.
Oh, I'm very keen to save people from evil.
Fair. Then
I think that I stopped you slaughtering a village in order to extract some sort of confession or clue as to who caused you harm. Is that all right?
Yeah, sounds good. Stop me from hurting the innocent to pursue the evil. And
could this have been shortly after his wife died or something, and he was kind of blind with rage and still?
I mean, that's pretty much Blackwin non-stop, frankly.
It hasn't softened with time, is my sense.
I mean, I lost a hand and swore vengeance against the gods themselves last time, so.
Yeah. Still, that was easy. All right, Paul, can you see one at
yeah, sure. Let's go with somebody saved me from a monster. Ask them what, how, and owe them.
Not a giant, please. Something else.
Oh, yes, the goodly giants.
They saved you from a skin changer.
Okay.
Hey, skin changers need love too.
They need an axe. That's what they need.
Let me think then. I offered advice that got you out of trouble. Ask them. So-and-so offered. One of you offered advice. Sorry, it's early in the morning here. Someone offered advice that got you out of trouble. Ask them how and when, and owe them.
What's this? Sorry, is it Ventusius?
Ventusius.
Is he like a young man, or sort of 40s, or older?
I think he's not in his. He's past his prime. I've been looking around for an appropriate picture, but if you type RPG Bard into the internet, all you get is rather comely ladies. So I will find something at some point to represent this middle-aged at least.
Okay.
Try typing in scald, maybe, rather than bad. It might be a bit more Vikingy than you like.
Ah, well done. Right, I'll pick one of those up in a minute. So back to debts of honor. Which of you offered advice that got me out of trouble? Ask them how, when.
If one of you has a good idea that got him advice, got him into trouble, but makes an interesting story, we can go with that too.
I was thinking how I could pull Donkey into this, but I'm not really the character that can offer advice.
Okay. Well then, I would have told you that those men were definitely planning to rob you, and you were a fool to go to trust them. And you should always keep your what is it? I forget what the name of the little dagger is that everyone has. Yeah. Keep your sea axe sharp and one eye open. And sure enough.
Thank you.
So what would be a good one for me to have with Bull? Oh, I've already got one. I saved you from a skin changer. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, give me half an hour and I'll be slightly more imaginative and things than I am right now.
I've got another one.
Which clearly needs to go to me.
And this one I think might possibly work. What about Bull has kept quiet about my dark past? Ask them what they know and owe them.
Oh yes. I think your dark past was that you were once in a war band and killed, slaughtered a village of women and children.
Blackwind sharpens his axe.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, I have something with. Should I set up another one? I'm not sure.
Let's go for this one. So this is probably directed at you, Alan. Revealed a dark truth to you. Ask them what, when, how, and oh no, you've so yeah, revealed a dark truth to you. Ask them what, when, how, and I owe them.
Yes.
So this is sort of the opposite of what you've just. This is a trade of secrets.
It is.
We could have both participated in the
No, I don't think so. No, I think that the secret I know, or what I believe, let's leave it as loose as that, is that I believe that you are the descendant of a hero who could go either way, to the good or the bad.
I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, but is it Boudica or Boudica?
Boudica. There is Boudica in this. She's a bit of a legend. I think it's probably more likely to be a Christian hero. So I know a legend of a Christian hero who went the wrong way, and I believe you're descended from him. That's a bit darker. Is that all right?
Perfectly good.
Okay. All right.
And I might suggest that that Will and Paul just check out what it says in the moves about those debts of honor now, because they're slightly different from when they were last in a game.
Is that on the Gods, Debts and Temptations tab?
That's how it works with the gods. But if you check out the moves tab, you'll see some honor moves, and it tells you when somebody, you can erase a debt that in order to blah. So currently I owe each of you a debt. I can erase that if I do one of those things.
Okay.
And you can call it in to lever me into doing it.
Okay. As ready as we're going to be. Okay, so you've been called, gathered, whatever, to the court of good old Beta of Lindsay. He's got a plan. Basically, so you get taken into the hall and he's got a priest with him, and he needs you to deliver a message to some bandits. Basically, he wants to stop banditry and the different areas from fighting, and he wants to, give them an offer of truce. But because they're bandits, you can't just send in a messenger. You got to send a few decent people who know their way around in and just deliver the message.
Not the kind of message I usually deliver to bandits. Fine.
Well, scalds like me are often used as go-betweens, so that would seem not unreasonable because we're not threatening.
But he said they're bandits. They might try to pull some dodgy stuff, so it's better. You may need to show some strength rather than just sending a courier to get killed. So that's why he's sending a group.
And if the message is big, I've got Donkey we can put the message on. That will carry the big message.
Sorry, I'm just picturing Donkey with a ballista on the back or something, but I don't think they've been invented yet. Okay. I did have a picture for Lindsay or Beta. No, it's Beta of Lindsay. Yeah. But
it works either way. It's a good name.
If Alun's all right with that. Because I didn't think it'd be that young, but yeah, that's what sort of what I had in mind. All right. And where's the priest? The priest sort of pulls you aside and he says he's been having visions of darkness in the woods, and he doesn't know whether it's there or whether it's coming, but he'd just like you to keep an eye out while you're over there. Here's the priest. It's Father Casudius. He doesn't stop moving. He's kind of, you must look out for the darkness. You must look out. It's very dangerous.
I will keep a good eye.
And Donkey's got a pair of good eyes as well.
Yes, by far better than mine. He sees many things.
Yes, you'll be given, some rations for your trip. So it should be about 4 or 5 days in the west. That's where they think the bandits are. Any questions or anything?
The nature of the message, my lord.
It's
an offer written
of
down, or
yeah, it's been written down. It wouldn't have an envelope, but it's been sealed with the king's seal, seal.
So we're working on what he's told us is in it, rather than actually reading it
right now. Yes.
Fine. So we are to simply take this message then,
yes,
as an offer of truce, And
Because if they just send a messenger, then they think it'll be killed because it's bandits. They need to send a couple to, make sure it gets to the bandit leader.
How do we know how do we know the bandit leader can read? I have my doubts about Bull here.
It's the work of the devil, that reading stuff. I've never seen anything come good of it. That's for
Right.
sure.
Well, if necessary, you can read it to him or her.
Yeah. Somebody needs to do that for me then. I think our singing troubadour friend, hopefully he can read.
I think, shall we assume that I can read Latin?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think Blackwin picked up tiny bits of Latin, perhaps, from when he was recovered, helped back to his feet by the church. But otherwise, yeah.
No, that's fine. That's
Concilius est in horto. I heard that was a good phrase.
And do we know, my lord, the name of the bandit leader?
no. I knew I forgot something. Let's have a look. We've got some names here. His name, allegedly, is Gathmayer.
Ooh, Gathmayer's a nasty one. I've heard tales that he does nasty things to people. And not just nasty people either. Normal folk.
Right.
Well, it would be proper if this was a challenge, my lord, and I shall compose a new ballad. I shall sing you a tale of this adventure when we return.
How many of them are there?
Oh, I have many songs.
No, not your songs. I've heard all those before. How many of these bandits are there?
They think possibly 20, possibly 40. It depends how many are there when you go there.
20. Manageable. 40.
We have heard of your prowess, Blackwin. That's why we thought you were a good addition to this expedition.
Aye. Not often I'm paid not to kill people.
Oh, you may yet have to, but obviously the intent is hopefully not.
He looks over his companions and says, aye, hopefully.
Aye. What's 40? When I get past my 18 toes and feet, I just think it's many after that.
I think Donkey laughed at that.
Well, we shall negotiate. That is for sure.
Donkey is the laugh track for this adventure.
Okay, let's load up the faithful pack animal.
I've got to start a session move.
Okay, yep. What's that?
It is as the portents predicted. At the beginning of each session, roll plus sense. On 7+, you can declare yourself to be in a scene you'd otherwise have missed later in the session. On 10+, you're also well prepared and already when you arrive in that scene. On 6-, you can still hold 1, but say or ask the GM how your stories or previous life have led to this situation.
So it's like a flashback.
No, it's almost a kind of if fictionally I wouldn't be somewhere, then this move would allow me to be there.
Oh, okay.
Because I have foreseen the portents, and I have though I have not said I'm going to be there, the portents have led me there almost without my knowing.
That's going to be easy to get you killed using that. Yep, sweet. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to use the blue dice and re-roll selected. Whoops, hang on. Hang on. Oh dear. We're off. Can you see those have changed to a 6 and a 2?
Yes.
I can.
Fine. It's just roll for your party's not been behaving for me for a week now. So on an 8, You can declare yourself to be in a scene you'd otherwise have missed later in the mission, but I will not be particularly well prepared or ready when I arrive. I may stumble into it.
Okay. All right. So you've kind of got a hold there. Okay. Anyone doing anything special before you leave town or King's Fort?
He's not a man of many pastimes and hobbies, Blackwin.
I don't know. I heard he's pretty handy.
Yeah.
I will visit my lady friend, who was she was the maid, if she is still around in the town, and I will tell her the tale that I am on another adventure, and I may not return.
I think King Beda has so far been the antagonist in all your adventures. So you're not in his. You didn't abandon her in his town, I think, if I remember correctly.
So I am a
she's up
distance
in
away.
the hills. She's up in the hills with the
write her a letter or
princess,
something.
I think.
Oh, no,
Okay.
you can't write her a letter.
No, I can't.
But it strikes me that Bull might be the kind of person who has a maid in every port.
Quite possibly. They all look the same, these maids.
Jeez, I don't know. Alrighty, what's he like? All right.
So are we working? We're working for the Beal of Lindsay, right? Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Beda,
Yeah.
King Beda.
Oh, King Beda. Sorry, I thought the Beal was I misheard. So, King Beda, the guy who was originally going to invade Sinem all that time ago.
Indeed, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
The villain of all our pieces so far.
I think so far I haven't killed anyone who belongs to him, so that's good.
I must apologize to our thousands of viewers for the fact that these deep cuts will mean nothing to them.
But yes, but I mean, hey, you could have a grudge against him and subtly undermine him if you want. I don't care. Do what you think's right for your character.
Oh, I don't think Blackwing cares one bit, frankly.
Okay. All right, so you're heading out of town. I'm guessing you're all on foot, and you've got some of your provisions on donkey, I guess.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably that Ventusius is humming to himself, and he has a little kind of skin drum that he's just. And I would like to, if you trawl your memories, I prefer not to think of that tale. If you trawl your memories for a story relevant to current events, roll plus soul, and then I could ask some questions.
Okay.
So my soul is 1. Oops, a daisy.
Oh, while you're traveling, I'll point out it's a little bit cold, a little bit overcast. It's autumn.
Okay. Well, that's an 8, but they did roll. I did see a move. So that's 9. Damn me. I would like to.
Oh, I could help with that.
Yes, perhaps we're talking about what we've heard.
Because we do know each other. We've established that so far. So yeah. I will provide some modicum of stupid wisdom that will suddenly provide a moment of clarity for you. And you will think, God, that common fool actually does know a little bit.
Well, I'd quite like to, rather than risk you rolling any dice.
I don't roll.
Oh, do you not?
No, I don't roll when I assist.
Oh, good for you.
Automatic 10.
He's everybody's pal.
Yeah, it only adds +1.
Now, it must be said, the move says, Bull, when you help someone during a fight.
Ah, okay, you're not fighting. So, sorry. I'll still provide you with some
Depends how
advice.
bad he plays. Blackwind might kill him.
No, what I was thinking was I could call in the debt that I owe you, that you
Okay.
owe me. Sorry. So
That I owe you.
yeah, because if I call in a debt, you
I'm
can
very good at assisting.
Are you?
Yes,
Do you
I'm,
promise?
yeah. I'm dead good at this. Listen to my advice. Listen to my advice. So
roll
let me
plus,
roll those
roll plus
bones.
supple.
Here we go. It's starting on a 3 and 5. Oh, and it's gonna 3 and 2, but that's still not too bad because that's a 7.
Oh,
So just about.
So that adds 1 to my roll, yeah.
I believe a 7 does in the common moves.
Yep.
And so I'm humming this tune, and how does this help? How does it look like on screen? I'm curious how Bull is helping this.
I think I'm clearly at first I'm not with the beat at all, but I finally get into the rhythm of what it is you're trying to drum out on your drum, and between us we form some sort of harmonic with my horrendously out of tune voice, but it provides you a little bit of clarity, and finally you reach that eureka moment where it is, and that's the clarity I've given you.
Yes, I know. It's come to me. I do remember. I was listening to a fellow skald in further to the south of here, telling a tale of these brigands, and so
the brigands led by Black Benez, I believe.
The detail escapes me now. Okay, and I can ask 2 questions then. What do I remember about the reputation of these brigands, or of their leader Gathmere?
I mean, they're happy to hurt people, but they lack stamina. As soon as you start hurting them or taking down a couple, they'll run for it. They don't fight for long. They go for easy prey. They're cowards, basically.
Bullies. When I was a young man, I ran with a bunch of bullying warband, and it was when I discovered that I was actually quite a courageous individual, because I walked away despite the threats. And my second question, do I remember any secrets about their leader Gathmere?
He maybe he was even part of that band, when you were younger. And in front of the lads, he's a big talker and he fights all right and that. But sort of as soon as it's quiet, he kind of asks for reassurance. It's like he's actually insecure, and he's like, that was right, wasn't it? I was doing the right thing. He needs social affirmation.
So more insecure than he looks.
Certainly should be for a bandit leader.
Okay. Oh well, that is very helpful. If things happen, then it might be possible to undermine him, my friends, and force the bandits. If he won't take this truce, then maybe we can just force the bandits to.
Oh, sounds good. You are an insightful man.
And it starts.
It is my gift.
Oh, donkey's my gift.
Okay, so you're not the first night, no. So you're headed towards you've got to cross a river. I think it's the River Trest. I had trouble finding maps that actually matched each other. But anyway, it's a north-south river. the bridge has been somewhat burnt and thus is somewhat unstable. So you can risk crossing it or go down or upstream. And Blackwin is going to share a childhood memory of this place.
Of this crossing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Many a time I walked across this bridge, but looks like it's fallen into disrepair after old man. Quickly, let me look up the names, the Saxon names. After old man Bjornoth was killed, looks like no one's been keeping it in shape. Sad times.
Oi, very sad. Too many killers about.
Hmm.
You don't say. Okay.
Should we cross here?
Oi, as you know so much about it, maybe he
The,
should
the
go
banks-
first.
The banks are steep and muddy. There was a light rain about an hour ago.
How will your ass get over there?
He's a good swimmer. Donkey. Have you never seen a four-legged creature swim? And plus we'll tie a line to his bridle, and we'll shimmy him across. With that, it could come in handy if we need to pull somebody back. So I'll give you the line, and if you go first and you get in trouble, I'll whip the back end of Donkey, and he'll pull you out. How about that? I'm always a useful person to have around. Cunning plans, these.
Aye, well, always useful to have a good donkey around. I agree with that.
Aye. People never say that about me. They always say it about Donkey.
Brains and beauty, my friend.
And I'll look very puzzled at that. Because it takes minutes for that to fly through my head.
And Ventusius will look at them both, and you can almost see the speech bubble that says, neither.
Yes. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I
You
would like
cross
to.
the bridge anyway.
Yeah.
Who's going first?
I'll go first.
I'll get you to look about you because you can hear the bridge creaking. So roll plus sense.
Okie dokie. I think I have a 1 in sense. Yes. Is a 7.
Okay. So you get one hold, which you can ask about location or situation, someone or something happening, what might happen or have happened, or you can add a detail.
I suppose I will just ask about the location in terms of like what's a good way of crossing this?
Not the bridge.
Not the bridge.
No, it is too damaged and you're going to fall through.
Okay. Looks like we'll have to ford then. Bridge isn't happening.
While he's telling me this, I will be getting a bit of rope from Donkey and tying it to Donkey's bridle and offering the other end of it to my good friend.
Whatever happens, Donkey has to survive the episode.
and Donkey may be able to pull Blackwin back if need be.
Yeah.
Creature of many skills.
Well, since the bridge is out, let's go to try and ford the river.
You going upstream or downstream?
I mean, would my look about me have told me enough to know which way is the closest fording
Yeah.
point?
Yeah, you probably want to go south for a bit.
Cool. South. Never like heading south.
Oh, it's the bottom direction.
Aye.
And those Christians told me the devil's to the bottom. Should always go up if we can.
You can go up if you want. I mean,
Oh no! If this is right and it's the will of God, we should do it.
Aye.
Dip into evil sometimes helps. There's logic there, I think. That's what somebody told me.
okay. All right. So you go south for a while. My notes. All right. So you're roped to the donkey, and you're both like so. Bull and Blackwing have a rope tied to the donkey.
Mhm.
And God, where's the character keeper gone? Ventusius is not roped to donkey.
Sorry, I was, when at moments like this, I tend to just drift away into contemplation. So no.
You just happily follow along. Okay, no worries.
Blackwing leans over to Bull. Keep an eye on the storyteller.
If it looks dodgy for you, I'll have to help him out.
Aye.
He seems a bit frail. Not used to work in the fields, this one.
Okay, so Ventusius, I might get you to face danger because the bank was muddy. You're not tied to anyone else, and you're not really paying attention. So roll plus steel, please.
Now, I have a move that says, I know a song which describes a situation such as this, where you face danger, roll plus sense instead of plus steel. And I know all those stories about bridges and trolls, and the thing to do is you move swiftly and light-footedly. So though Blackwing is concerned about this bridge, I'm completely convinced that I can just, on my tiptoes, scamper across. For so is 'tis said in the tales.
Right.
So I will roll plus sense, which is plus 2. And I get 14.
You lucky bastard.
Hell's
All
teeth.
right.
It is as though my feet do not touch the ground. I jump from timber to timber. And I'm on the other side, sat with my foot up on one of the on a stone, and they're going while they make their way through the water.
Right. Does Bull or Blackwing have a reaction to this when they get across, or?
We're pretty amazed at the nimbleness of the old scold.
I see your feet are even faster than your tongue.
There are times, where a man of the arts such as I needs to be swift of foot. Not all audiences are as appreciative as one would hope.
Donkey goes, "Ee-aw."
Especially not those you've robbed.
Oh, that is a calumny spread by my enemies who do not know me well.
When he says that, I'll check my purse. It hasn't got anything in it, but I will still check my purse.
Yeah.
Okay. You regroup on the other side, keep heading. It's just about to get dark.
Can I just add? I've got this lovely idea that as they come up over this slippery bank, looking damp and soggy, the bridge just kind of goes.
Sure.
That was a good call not to take the bridge, Blackwing. That was dodgy. That was.
I pat the donkey on the back, and I say, "I would have lost this one. Well, then where would we be?"
Exactly. And we got our free yearly bath out of it. It don't get no better than that.
So you regroup on the side, keep heading. It starts getting dark. There's a smell coming from the bushes just off the side of the trail. But
Oh, that does not sound good.
You know,
Hi.
I think I should go and investigate. Dodgy smell and all. I got a good nose for a dodgy smell. All that mucking out I do. So
Be my guest.
I shall tie Donkey to a tree, and I shall wander into the bush.
you don't have to wander too far. There is a corpse laying face up of a lady in her 20s, fully dressed and everything.
Ooh. Definitely a corpse, as in she's decayed somewhat. She needs no saving.
They look like they've been dead a couple of days, but
Oh.
no obvious sort of signs of injury on the front.
I shall come a reasonable rate of knots come out of the bush and go, there's a dead body in there of some young lassie. It don't look good for her. She's been lying face down for a few days, that's for sure.
No, face up.
Oh, face up for a few days. Up, down. It's nearly the same when you're dead. I think we should go all have a look at this. This looks dodgy. Somebody's run a knife through her or something.
Let's have a look about her and find out what's there.
So I will lead them back through the bush to where this body's laying, and I'll sort of roll her a bit so we can see sort of both sides and try and ascertain what has done such an evil act upon this young lady.
When you tip her over, her back is sort of hollowed out like a tree that's been someone's tried to carve into a canoe, and there's mushrooms growing everywhere.
Ooh, that is definitely not some way to go. Why would somebody do such a thing?
Looks like something weird to me.
It does.
I prefer not to think of that tale, but if I trawl my memories for a story relevant to the current events, roll plus soul. Have I heard anything of such? This is odd. This is unusual.
I will ponder.
That's an 8. So I hold one to spend on who or what might be behind this, because this is not a natural death, I predict.
If anything, it's old magic, so it may have something to do with the old Celtic gods or the Fae. It's not going to be Christian or satanic or anything. It's going to be something really old.
Oh, this is a bad place. This is a place where the eye of God does not fall.
What do you think? It's the elves?
I think it is the Fae. It is the spirits of the old gods at work.
Well, I brought some good iron to deal with that.
I hope it's cold. I hear they don't like cold iron.
All iron's cold unless it's in a fire. I don't know what people have been telling you.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah. And when he's saying the eye of God, I will look up and, I'll scan the air to see if I can see the eye of God. Clearly, I can't.
I think Donkey will move close to you and look up at the sky as well.
It would be nice to get the eye of God down here. That's for sure. Oh, this is bad.
This is a bad place. This is an ill-omened place.
I think we should bury her, though. That's the Christian thing to do. I've heard.
It is.
Yes. It looks like a job for me then, boys. I know my place.
Aye, definitely.
And I will start digging a grave for her. I will not ask for any assistance. I know my place in the world.
I think that Blackwin will actually help you, despite his words. As you, as you start digging, he drags the woman's body out, closes the eyes, and helps you get stuck in there.
Mighty fine of you, Master Blackwin.
The quicker we're done with this, the quicker we can be on our way.
And
From her,
Ventisius, maybe you can compose some words.
well, that's what I was wondering. That's what I'm wondering. From her dress or her look, would we say that she was Christian or Saxon pagan?
Probably Saxon pagan. She does have very nice boots that would probably fit you. Sort of dainty feet.
I think the good Christian in me doesn't feel that he can go with that suggestion, even if they're Saxon feet. No.
Nice boot she's got there.
Yes. No. If I owed my god a debt, then I might be tempted to take a temptation about greed here. But no, not at this point.
Well, she ain't using them, but if you don't want them, they don't fit me.
So, Blackwin, is it right to bury her? As she's a Saxon? Should we perhaps burn her?
I'll defer to your knowledge of Saxon things.
It would be a rock, like a can, wouldn't it? Pile of rocks.
Blackwin's not a very godly person in the first place, and I think he's gonna. I think last time it ended with him saying that he's gonna kill any god that stands in his way. So I think that Blackwin's response is say, burial, burning. It's all just whatever makes you feel better. She's dead.
Oh, she is dead, and there ain't no time for people in the grave or on top of it. Yeah, let's just get it done.
The gods don't care one way or the other.
He was already digging a hole, so I guess you're burying her.
Yeah, quicker than setting a fire, I imagine, in this damp.
And it would bring bad attention. A fire would give us away.
All right. Yeah. So it's just gone dark. You're going to camp here or a bit further up the road, or?
Oh yeah, I don't like this place. I think we should trudge on, folks.
Certainly the kind of has not raised the mood.
Okay. So you make camp. You're sort of in light woods, light hills. Sorry. Yeah, small hills, light woods at the minute. Okay. Alun, what animal does Bull dream about that night?
Oh, I think he dreams of a stag.
Donkey will never forgive me. I had a dream and it wasn't about Donkey. Oh, that's a bad omen. That's a bad omen indeed.
What do you think this stag would be doing? Like running or just posing in the moonlight, or?
I think he dreams of a stag in the moonlight that is looking at him, and it has fiery red eyes.
Ooh.
That is not a good sign. I'll nuzzle up to Donkey when I awake in a sweat and say, that was not good, Donkey. There were some evil eyes on me from some Celtic god of whatever. I'll have to tell those others in the morning, Donkey. Please remind me to do that. I will drift off. I will drift off again to sleep.
Alrighty. All right. You awake in the morning. It's a little bit cold and damp, but you're not dead, so we're ahead of the game.
Okay. Blackwin and Ventusius, I had an evil dream last night. I think the evil eye of the stag god is on me. I always dream of Donkey, and I think Donkey dreams of me. But last night I had a dream of a stag with evil eyes were upon me in the moonlight. That is not a good sign.
Well, if we see a stag, I could do with stocking up the meat rations.
Oi, that's
Perhaps.
we should kill every stag we see. It might be the one with red eyes.
Perhaps the wild hunt is afoot.
Oh, I've heard that's very bad. The wild hunt. Very bad indeed. That definitely be fey magic, that does.
No good Christian man can stand before the wild hunt.
It's a good job you got me along then.
Aye, true. And I'm not too sure if you're that good either, Ventius. So you should be able to stand quite well at it as well against the wild hunt. Only Donkey's virtuous.
Well, he's no man, so I guess he gets off there.
Aye, that's a good point. I didn't think of that.
Aye. But I'm not used to being prey.
Alright, so continue into the woods or on with your journey or?
In an ominous way, yes. Keeping a good eye out because we're definitely in dodgy times.
And Ventusius can't get that slow kind of dirge like out of his. He just, it's a nervous tick now that he just can't get that out of his head. He can't summon up a jolly tune because this is ill-omened.
I think as we walk into the woods, we'll suddenly walk into the back of Blackwin. I'll just look at you and say, I can't hear anything over your drums, and you're not even keeping the tune.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm off. I'm nervous.
Shh. Even the donkey's quieter than you.
I will summon up my courage and stiffen my sinew and put the drum away.
Okay. All right, so a bit further ahead, there is a trail. Oh, sorry, you're on the trail. Because you are a bit wary, there's two sort of guys leaning against the trees. Got their weapons. They've got their sea axes out. They're just kind of chatting. So you see them before they notice you. We'll say because Blackwind's at the front. Yay, marching order. Okay, so Blackwind, are you going to do anything or say anything, or are you just going to keep going ahead?
Afternoon, lads.
They're like, oh, all right, so stand up and, yeah, it is afternoon. It's, you're welcome to come along, but there's a toll for using this trail. This is our trail, you see.
Oh, really? I see your name on it somewhere.
Well, obviously,
You built this trail.
I did, and so did my friend here.
Right. And what would Gathmare say about this?
They sort of look at each other nervously. Well, we work for him, so.
Ah, well, I have a message for your leader.
Would your message have something to do with your axe, or did you?
No, I'm not being paid to bring that message. Axe is just for anyone who tries to get in between me and your leader.
So if we walk to the left or the right of the trail, because you made the trail, is that fine? Because we're not on your trail if we walk to the left or the right of it. So can we pass for free?
I think your boss will be wanting to read what's in this letter. I think it'll be profitable for all people involved.
They're like, you got a smart one. He's going to walk around our trail. No, that's you do need to pay the toll.
Let me see if I've got a move here.
And they're like, look, I wouldn't get any clever ideas. We've got archers in the trees as we speak, pointing at you right now. Now, Bull.
Yes.
How do you know one of these bandits?
I think one of them came from a village I lived in for a while, and there was a time of famine, and about a gang of 4 young lads, quite a few years back, left the village to take up a life of banditry. And I haven't seen them for probably a good 6-7 years. And one of these guys was from that original crew.
Okay. Yeah, so he's one of the guys standing there with the sea axe.
Get you a name, unless you already have one.
Nope. Let's have a look. I don't know. Vicus.
Vicus. Is that you, Vicus? You must recognise me. It's Bull. I remember you from the village.
Yeah.
Those were bad times. It seems you've survived, but not in a good way, my friend.
We've all had to, do what we have to. Okay.
We go back some time. So how about you let us pass? You know I don't offer you no ill. And you could always give us mates' rates to go along your trail. I think that'd be fair. I would like to try and convince him.
Yes, that's what I was just looking at. Yep, roll plus subtle.
Okay, here we go. Rolling the bones. I thought it came up 2 and 1, but no, it's come up 2 and 5. 7, 8, 9. If somebody was to assist, I may be able to get to 10.
And I will begin to sing a song of friendship and old times. I will pluck upon Vicus's heartstrings with help. This is a social situation, so roll plus sense. I think. Oh no, subtle. Oh well. So that's +1.
Oh, that's
a. Oh, it was almost a 10 for a moment. So that's 8. So +1.
+1. That pushes me to 10. So how about that for a payment? A good song by El Troubadour. For mates' rates and a good song, you should let us pass. How about that, my friend?
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. You can overhear sort of one of them look at Blackburn like something that we've killed 20 men and, happy not to fight that guy. So they're like, yep, no worries. All right, pass on through. Off you go.
I'll doff my hat. Not that I've got a hat. And yes, we shall pass on through, thanking them merrily.
Yeah,
and I will
thanking them merrily.
No, I thought that was asking a lot. But I will certainly sing of the generosity of men to old friends.
All right. As you're sort of passing through that area, there's 2 other bandits that just sort of nod to you. They've got bows, and I cannot remember Alan's character's name for the life of me.
Ventusius.
That's it.
Ventusius.
And notices that they have little pendants on their necklaces, and it looks like an upside down cross in it.
Oh dear.
These weren't the 2 that were initially talking to the rest of them. These were archers a little bit further in.
I mean, I think I might be overusing. I prefer not to think of that tale. But I think I am curious if I know anything of these. Have I come across these before? I can roll, or you can just tell me.
Just looking at your thingies, debts of honor, and get right down to the right page. Yes, some of the warband you're in were into same cult of people.
So what do I remember about that cult?
They had different terms for what they called themselves, but basically they were specifically against Christian values and went out of their way to work against Christian values. If people showed courage or generosity, they would target them with cruelty.
No, I have a bad feeling about this.
Stay close.
And I shall put Donkey on the inside, close to Blackwin, and I'll go on the outside. He's more valuable than I am.
True.
All right. One of them with the singers says to enthusiasts, "You ever shot a bow? Up for a bit of a competition?"
What, me?
Yes, you.
Oh, it's been many years since I shot a bow. But if it would be helpful.
All right. So yeah, one of them will sort of hand you a bow and go for the tree over there. Go for it. I guess that's fight.
Or face danger.
Yeah.
Shall I go with fight?
Yeah.
Savage is -1. Oh my goodness! Oh, our roll for your party is just tantalizing me with 11s and then going to 6. So it's down to 5. I missed the tree, but I do mark experience.
Oh, he didn't do much better. Huh. He's like, not bad, but yeah, I think we both need to practice a bit more.
I have given up warlike ways, my friend. I shall not be practicing with the bow.
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, he sort of nods. The other one's kind of sneering at you a bit. All right, so you guys just keep going through.
Yeah, Blackwinds are just cold staring at the one who's staring the entire time. Like dead faced.
No worries. Does anyone need a bio break or anything? You're good, or?
I could do with getting a coffee at some point.
I could do with a cup of tea. I'm beginning to. This is beginning to feel like a normal morning now. So I do need to go and get a cup of tea.
You got 5 minutes?
Okay.
10 minutes? What do you need?
5 will do. Well, if we came back at 20 past the hour, that would give us a 7.
20 past the hour?
Do you mean 10-2?
You mean 10-2, Alan? 20 past the hour would be a very long break.
I take it back about me getting more wakeful. Yeah. Okay. See you then.
You are getting so blurry as well, Alan. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. The voice is still good.
Yeah.
Well, if the worst comes to the worst, I'll go voice only.
No worries.
I was just looking to see whether or not I got Blackwin had any experience hanging over from his last adventure, and no. I think I've played Blackwin how many times now, and he's not got one advancement because he never fails any of his rolls. He always does it.
Oh, now you're a bit sketchy, Paul.
I am. Yes, it's clearly focused on the background and hasn't refocused on me.
Oh, I like this. We've got 2 cameras that we can.
2 cameras?
Yeah.
I have indeed got a few cameras.
Yeah. Studio 1, Studio 2.
Let's see if this one is.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't.
I feel like there's a vision mixer in the background going like, hey, close up on camera 2 and cut back to whatever.
Okay.
Oh,
ready, or do people need a bit more
Ye-
time, or you want to chat?
Yeah. Just wanted to say, Patsy said how much he enjoyed Eotenweard the other day.
I thought you'd mentioned a friend of yours called Patsy. Right, I hadn't put 2 and 2 together till you said that.
Yeah, Blake played with him as well when we did Liminal. He was
He was a really good role player.
Yeah, he's good, Patsy. He draws artwork for like red markets and stuff like that.
I have to say, because I ran this game for him and for them, and he has a slightly scarily thorough knowledge of bits of the Bible. So he was playing the priest of God and kept quoting verses at me, which I just nodded and smiled.
That's the Irish for you.
That's proper religious education.
Yeah, which he loved receiving.
We had 2 players like that at UK Games Expo last year. The GM was the son of a vicar. That was Captain Comeover, by the way, Alan. And yeah, the table was a guy who was a massive. The other guy was a really not Captain Comeover. The other guy at the table was a really sound bloke. But yeah, tons of scripture quoting. It amazes me.
But I'm back in the room now.
Cool. So we're pretty much at Gathmare's, aren't we? Like, from the sounds of it.
I'll get in there.
Yeah.
That's a good character picture, by the way, Alan.
Right,
Yeah, I liked him.
This places and faces I'm supposed to be looking at.
No, I put him on the bottom of my character sheet.
Ah.
The drum's a bit big, but you know.
Yeah.
What man doesn't over-exaggerate something around his waist?
Don't really need to add to that. Okay. Alrighty. All right, so keep going through the woods, and the woods are getting thicker, a little bit more hilly.
I think I'd like a brief conversation with Bull.
Yep.
It's going to be brief because I'm not a man of many words.
Now look, Bull. You know, and we're seeing, letting Blackwin just walk a bit ahead. That you know that I know Gathmere, because of what happened before in my past.
We both have black pasts.
Well, I suppose I'm more worried about your future than your past, but I don't quite know how to come at this. I don't quite know how to play it. You know, do I hope he doesn't recognize me? Do I, you know, just stay stum and keep my fingers crossed? Or do I don't know. What do you think? I can't talk to anybody else about it.
Oh, these decisions, they hurt my head. I think you should. Honesty is always the best policy, they say. So, I don't know, maybe you should come clean. Yeah,
Okay.
I think you should come clean about it. Get it off
Well,
your chest, as they say. A problem
Yes.
shared is a
That is
problem halved.
That is the courageous thing to do. Thank you, Bull. You've taken a weight off my mind.
That's not a problem. Maybe you shouldn't wear a hat next time. I believe that's a heavy weight on anybody's head. That's for sure. That's what somebody told me, and he was a lot wiser, wasn't it, Donkey?
Oh, dear Bull. You are among the most wisest men I know.
Nobody's ever said that, so I will thank you very much there. Thank you very much.
And then I think I have to confide in Blackwin.
Okay.
Because he doesn't strike me as the kind of man who enjoys a surprise. And so perhaps later on, I've caught up with Blackwin and I said, look, I do need to tell you something, Blackwin. Gathmare and I were once members of the same war band. And so we have a bit of history. I walked away, and I don't know if he still carries a grudge.
You walk away on good terms. How much did you steal before you left?
I didn't steal anything, but I did rather. Oh, how can I put this? I confronted them about their actions, and shamed them, really. I mean, this was a good few years ago, and he might not recognize me, but I've spoken to Bull, and I think Bull is right that the courageous thing to do is to just come out with it and say, you might not remember me, but and I just thought you should know. I didn't want it to just come out.
So Bull's advice is to ask for trouble if it doesn't come to you.
Well, I think he's speaking to my better nature, and I think the brave thing to do is to just come out and clear the air.
Plenty of dead brave men.
Yes, and well, what are you saying? I should keep it secret?
The donkey goes, oh.
I think you should ask I think next time ask the donkey rather than Bull.
Well, I mean, I asked Bull because he knew of that. He knew of something of my past. So,
I think that if he doesn't recognize you, then all the better. But if he does recognize you, then probably best not to try and weasel out of it as is your way.
I am speechless. I say,
if only.
I'll drop back and thank you. That suits me.
Jolly good. All right. You come into the bandit camp. There's more and more bandits sort of watching through the trees, but they appear to have known you're coming because they're just sort of watching you. Some of them nod, some of them just sort of sneer at you. Okay. There's sort of a circle. There's a bit of a clearing. Bunch of bandits sort of standing around watching you. There's sort of a chair that appears to be some sort of throne or whatever. He's sitting on there. There's a huge guy next to him. And he says, "What brings you here, Ventusius?
It's been a long time, Gathmir.
Indeed it has. Time has treated you well, it seems.
And you, because I don't think he was the leader of the warband when I knew him.
Nah. And when he's talking to you, he's kind of looking at the other two more, sort of sizing them up.
I want to look about me and make a judgment about him, about his mood towards me.
Okay.
So that is plus sense, which is my thing. Oh, Jesus. If I add 2 to that, I get to a grand total of 5.
Mark experience.
Mark experience, indeed.
There is no like look. Is there any more? You know, like spend
No.
this to succeed at kind of thing. Cool. Just wanted to check because I missed it.
Unless he wants to try and do something courageous, if I understand it right, you could.
I could. I could owe my god a debt and invoke my courageous. Actually, you know, I think I might, because that would improve it a full step, wouldn't it? Yes, I think I shall puff out my chest and say and step forward and say in my best bardic voice, and what, friend Gothmir, do you remember of those days? Am I welcome here? Can I owe my god a debt, invoke courageous, and improve that failure to a marginal success?
Sure. Okay. So what does
Which
that
means
success
that I hold 1.
Yeah.
And I will ask you about someone in the scene. I'm going to ask, does he hold a grudge? Whatever he says, does he still hold a grudge?
Since you are welcome here, I would like to know about your companions. And the really big guy next to him sort of sneers at Blackwin.
Blackwin just cold dead eye stares back, like not impressed whatsoever with this.
Then let me introduce. This is Blackwin, who is the escort on this journey to see you. For I bring a message from King Beda of Lindsay, and yonder is Good Bull, and his noble beast of burden donkey, the ass. And as I say, I bring and I will flourish the message. I bring this from King Beda, an offer of truce, and I have not read it, but I believe it is a request for aid, or at least less distraction to the kingdom.
Oh, so someone comes forward and grabs the missive. There's a few people sort of muttering about tribute, and it says, "You are welcome here, Ventusius, but your friends must pay tribute. They can tell us a tale, they can offer food, or they can wrestle." And he sort of nods towards the big guy next to him. Bull, what tribute do you pay? He sort of looks down his nose at you as if he's, being the big tough chief at this point.
I will confront the massive unit. I'll wrestle.
Okay. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
He's about
Small
6'6".
smile on Blackwin's face for the first time.
It's not actually trying to kill you, but so I think it's face danger.
Okay.
All right, so they clear a bit of space, and he's like, ugh.
Fighting would be better, but yeah, I can
Crush
face
you,
danger.
old man.
I ain't that old. I can't count, so I don't really know how old I am. That was insinuating that I am something that I might not be. Face off. And I'll sort of like get my hands under my armpits and sort of rub it in my face and all over myself. I'm ready for a fight. I heard that some grease always helps in wrestling. Come here, you old.
That's disgusting.
Very well. So face danger.
Roll plus steel.
Roll plus steel, and I am at -1 with steel. Here we go. Ooh, I rolled a 10. That's a shame. So that brings it down to 9.
Okay.
Still not bad.
Okay, where's the outcome? All right, so we can say you're not hurt, but he's pinned 2 of your limbs, or he's completely missed you, but he's getting really pissed off, and you think he's going to try and hurt you now.
I would like to bring some cunning into play. How can I bring some cunning into play?
Or trip him, or kick him in the nards.
Yeah. I would like to fight dirty. Yeah, I would like to change the nature of the fight, so I will kick it up a notch and fight slightly dirty.
All right.
Is that roll with savage?
Or to be subtle. What do you think, Alan?
Well, if the choice is be pinned or get more violent, I think that what Paul's just said is escalate from face danger to fight.
All right, so you didn't get pinned and he's getting annoyed. But you're going to try and fight dirty. Okay. So
Yeah. So, roll with savage?
Yes.
Okay, I have +1 with savage. Let's hope I also roll well. Let us see. Oh, 8. So that goes to 9. So I think I'm holding myself quite well in this fight. 9's not bad. They're not bad rolls.
Okay. So you exchange harm as established, or relevant. Do you want to choose one from the list?
You exchange harm as
Or you can exchange harm and just hurt him.
Or choose a relevant effect.
It's got spot a weak point and inflict 1 extra harm, so it could be a kidney punch or something.
Yeah, so I'll take a little bit of harm off him, but fight dirty. Basically, I grabbed him by the old knackers and give him a good goddamn squeeze. Hopefully he'll yelp in a vast amount of pain, sort of like.
I know, just sort of and sort of go in fetal position on the ground. A few people laugh.
So I've got a bit of a sort of a rib wound where he gave me a good digging.
No, just to be clear, you don't. If it's exchange harm or pick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So on a 7+, it's exchange harm or choose a relevant effect. You chose spot a weak point and inflict 1 extra harm, even if choosing not to exchange harm. So you get his knackers and he doesn't hurt you.
Excellent.
You got to the knackers first.
Superb. Hey,
Right, yeah.
I'm quite impressed by myself here. Bull has never thought he was one that could take on such a large unit. But yeah, I will give them a good squeeze and force this guy down a bit.
There is no not exchange harm on that list.
No, there's a on 7+. You exchange harm as established or choose an effect from the list.
Okay, but the inflict extra harm.
Oh, then that's not relevant.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you got him in the knackers. He's
Yeah,
gone
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Excellent.
All right, the Guthmere, the bandit chief, sort of looks at Blackwin. Tail, food, wrestle. A few people are going, wrestle, wrestle, wrestle.
And who do I be wrestling now that my man here has taken down yours? Would it be you, Chief?
I think you kind of have to. He's not going to refuse to fight you. No,
Well.
Chief's not called BitTorrent.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's.
I think Blackwin though will just like sneer slightly and reach into his pack and pull out half a piece of bread and toss it to one of the guys and just say, "There's your food."
Oh, one of them will happily eat it. They don't have a lot of fresh food here.
Yeah, as much as you'd enjoy the wrestling, I'd rather be about my day.
Fair enough. Okay. That bit. So.
I think this is the second time I've refused to engage in a combat of sports, and for this, I think he only really fights to kill people.
No, that's fair enough. All right. Like, well, because at this point it's like 7 at night, so it's been dark for 10 minutes or so. Guthmere says, you're welcome to stay the night before you head back.
Will there be word for us to take back to the king?
In the morning. Yeah, in the morning.
Then we graciously accept your hospitality.
You know, we walked across something, a lost soul on our way here, a young woman, caught by the wee folk.
A few people sort of mutter and.
You having any troubles like that? Here in the forest, where they make their home?
A few animals that seem to be dead in strange ways, but that's about it. That's sort of look around and nod to each other. Yeah. Someone saw a badger slaughtered in an odd way, and someone else saw a squirrel killed as well.
Well,
all killing squirrels in weird ways. That'd definitely be evil work.
That's what the priest told me when he caught me. Yeah. I think Blackwin will just say, like, well, I'd say you should leave out your milk, but I don't think any of you got any. So maybe just keep a bit of bronze close.
Thank you for the warning.
I'll look the bunch over using my playbook move. Look at this. Is there any important clue here about these bunch of bandits that I can discern?
Do you have to roll or anything, or you just know?
No. When you try to find an important clue or item, you will find it, though the GM may not make its value explicit.
I'll just check I've got the right person. And this is Bull, isn't it? Bull. Oh, yes. One of the bandits winks at Bull.
Ah.
And it takes Bull a second to, remember who that was. And that person is either the person or an identical twin of the skin changer that Blackwin saved you from.
Oh, I will look very shocked at this, and I will quickly make my way to Blackwin. Blackwin, I've seen an ill omen. That
Aye.
skin changer you killed, he be here. Or at least the person that was copied. That is an ill omen.
Well, they died once. They can die again.
Well, you do remember
That-
the body went missing.
That brings me great comfort.
Keep your ass close.
I will. Definitely will. Me and Donkey will sleep close to you tonight.
I feel like giving
Sure.
Blackquin experience points just for milking that joke. Alrighty.
What joke?
Mayor will call, forget his name again, Ventusius aside. So, did you get offered land too? I'm gonna stick it to those Mercians.
Just help me with that.
So, yeah, you got offered the same thing, yeah? We're gonna help Beta. We'll all attack the Mercians together. We get a good pick. Can we first-
Oh, no, he has. This is very much a kind of small gift on delivery kind of arrangement that the king has put to us. He's going to take on the Mercians.
well, with us, because obviously, he needs the help. He's not.
Well.
Well, I've heard things about him, but he's not a foolish man.
No, he must think that he's got some great advantage. But
Well, he does with us. Says,
yes. He is a very cunning individual, so I wouldn't be surprised if perhaps offers like this haven't been sent to other warlords such as yourself.
Surely he wouldn't need to. He's with us, with all of us.
Yes, I mean, how many men do you have under arms?
40.
Well, that is a sizable warband. Oh, perhaps so. Well, perhaps what you've always wanted, land of your own, a place to settle?
Well, not yet. I'm still young, Gonna retire anytime soon. It's not bad out here. You should come back.
I have put aside that life. I made it clear when I left that I would never be coming back. I've made a different kind of life for myself.
It didn't make sense then, doesn't make sense now. This is, we're kings of the forest out here. Beta or no beta.
Are you sure that you are kings of the forest? You heard what Blackquin said. The old spirits walk these forests. You beware.
We'll be all right.
Well, I will pray for you for times past that we have shared.
On that topic, what here reminds you of your faith?
Oh, the fact that being here reminds me of what we did in those days. It reminds me of those raids, those indefensible acts that drove me away and strengthened my faith, because I knew that I was doing wrong.
Yeah.
And now I am reminded of what I did, and that strengthens my faith.
Okay. We'll cut over to Blackquin. Something here concerns you. It doesn't have to be the skin changer, or it can be. It's up to you. Or it could be something else. What concerns you when you look about the bandit camp in the dark as people are getting ready for bed or chatting?
They're completely wide open to attack. They seem to be relying upon their men in the woods. They don't have fortifications. They don't have any ditches. They don't have a guard, you know, like on watch. It just seems to be mostly like rabble, effectively. So if the wild one was to storm through here, it would catch its prey very, very easily.
It's always nice when the players ask you for a random encounter. Alrighty. All right. Is Blackwin and Bull going to talk about the skin changer or not? Or
Well, I've already told Blackwin about it, and he said just stay close to Donkey, and then I sort of I will tie Donkey using the long leash that we used to cross the water, the rope, to a tree, and yeah, I'll try and camp down as far away from the skin changer as possible, and as close to Blackwin.
Navania, sort of Celtic woman.
Is that the name of the skin changer? Vania.
I will also tell this of Ventusius. Ventusius, I think a member of their band has been infiltrated by an evil creature that Blackwin and I slew before. Well, Blackwin slew him.
Her.
Yep. An evil skin changer.
Oh, my friends, we need to get this a skin changer, spirits in the forest. Gathmir was never my friend, but I worry for his soul.
Blackwin, I think, like looks over at Vania. Does Vania seem to be showing any interest in us at all?
Kind of watching him occasionally, bit of a sly smile.
Yeah.
Does not seem concerned.
I think Blackwin will stand up mid-conversation and just walk over to Vania and say, "You look familiar."
I'm happy to say so to you. She, when you last met, she was attracted to you.
Oh yeah. Before I took her head off or whatever, like before I disemboweled her, like yeah. Didn't think you'd be walking away from that one.
I'm full of surprises.
Clearly.
You apparently.
Yes. Surprised you, didn't it?
Yes. You
Now,
left an impression.
will you be after my friend again?
No.
And will you save whatever you're planning until we've left, perhaps?
What?
I don't care what you do. Just don't.
Well,
Don't have any of it affect me or mine.
sounds like you're trying to convince someone.
Yeah,
Roll
sure.
plus
I have a move called Fear Me. When you convince someone with intimidation, roll plus savage instead of subtle. And I think, given the fact that I've already slayed this person, that's definitely an intimidation. That is a 8. I don't think I ever miss outright in Eotenweard. I think I always just get that mixed success. So on a 7 to 9, they'll do it if I do something for them first, or if I owe them a debt of honor.
Can I, yeah, all right. I won't do nothing while you're here. I'm not here for you.
Good.
I would like to speak.
No follow-up question? I'm not here for you, ...
I mean, I'll be honest. As a player, I'm very interested. As Blackwin, I'm utterly uninterested in any of these things. Which is, I know he's a one-note character, but that's the note he's going for.
I will speak to the chief of the bandits, and I'm gonna tell him that his camp he needs to really step up his defense game. And I'm going to tell him that already I believe his camp has been infiltrated. And I would like to get him to believe me that these are indeed true.
Sounds like convince someone again. So yep. Roll
Well, I have a special move called Believe Me. So when you
go for it.
When I try to keep an NPC out of danger by telling them the truth about the evil dark, which I believe I'm trying to do, the forest is possibly against him. So yeah, let's have a roll, and that's roll with subtle, so that's +2. I rolled 11, so that takes it to 13. I don't know if there's anything.
The forest is alive. It's a lizard.
I don't know if there's anything special
not
for
a playbook move.
Not for a playbook move.
No.
Okay, so from that, I do believe he will. On 10+, they'll do as you tell them. So I'm going to tell him that he needs to post a lot more. He needs to have a watch tonight, keep a fire going, and prepare himself for some kind of attack.
All right. Yeah, I'll think it over.
And I'm going to tell him to keep an eye on that woman. I'm not going to tell him that she's a skin changer.
Yeah.
But I'll say that definitely. Does he give me any clue about when she joined? Is she sort of a new arrival?
He's that's fine. I've been keeping an eye on her. He says with a smirk.
Fair one.
But he makes Brennan, the big wrestler dude you defeated, take watch as sort of penance for losing.
That was a good call there. A good call.
All right, so Vanya and Guthmere go into their tent together. Brennan's on watch. You guys doing anything before you go to bed, or
sharpening my axe?
I can't sleep if I don't entertain people first. So I will, of course, provide some entertainment at the center of the camp to raise spirits, and for all I know, distract those people on guard.
Go for it.
What do you want me to do? Do you want me to roll for that? I've got no special move that says entertain. Let me entertain you. When you have to act in difficult circumstances or against opposition, that's the closest I can think of. Face danger.
Soul move?
No, my soul move asks God to throw things at people.
No, not that.
I don't know. Are you trying to impart a message, or just sort of impart bravery? Or?
No, this is fictional color from my point of view. I need to play. I need to sing, and so here I am in a camp in the forest with, perhaps 20 or 30 brigands, and so I will routinely entertain.
I'm going to say subtle because you're kind of trying to calm yourself.
Okay, so I will roll plus subtle. Oh, hang on, what did I do wrong then? Hang on. Try that again. Yeah, that's stable on 10, and subtle is 1. So that's 11.
All right.
To convince.
So I'd say 5 of them sort of nodding along or tapping their feet and seem to be enjoying it.
Fine.
Certainly lifted the spirits of the band. There's definitely less of them sort of looking at you and your gear as if you're a target now.
Oh, well, that works as well then.
When Blackwood said he's sharpening his axe, I keep thinking about Sweeney Todd, where he's singing to his scissors and his knives and my friends.
I've got one man whose close friend is a donkey, an ass called Donkey, and I got another one whose best friend is his axe.
Sharper than the pair of you put together.
Oh, very good.
Touche.
I must put that in the act.
Alrighty. Okay. So you wake up the next day. Yeah, we got through what more than I thought we would. So, as players, I'll ask you, does anyone have a cool idea what they think would happen they would awake to the next morning? Or you think it's all good?
Ooh, I think the man they've left on guard, something's happened to him.
Okay.
That big unit.
Brennan. He's not in camp. And Guthmere will say, he'll sort of look at a few of them, say, go look for Brennan. Vannia's on his arm, so he doesn't seem too concerned. It's just, go look. You three doing anything? Or?
You have your message for the king.
Yeah. He just says, I accept.
Right then.
I don't think we can leave,
I think we should help them.
I think our Christian duty here is to help. I mean, Bull hurt that man yesterday, and now he's gone missing. And I just think some of them
people do, Vensuvian.
I know what they do.
Yeah. Yes.
I used to do it.
Yes, you did. And the only reason that I'm not killing you right now is you stopped. Now these folk are carrying on. And the Christian thing to do is a stupid thing to do.
That man didn't deserve to die in his sleep while he was awake guarding us. So I think we should find out what happened to him.
He might have just gone for a piss, you don't know.
Well, then this won't take long then, will it?
True.
Look, Bull told Gathmere to strengthen the guard. He did. That man was there because of what Bull said. We have a debt here if we're not careful. I don't want to find myself in debt to these people.
We're just going to rewind a sec. Ventusius, when Guthmere was talking to you about, did you get the same offer? And he was kind of waving the letter around. Did you read it?
I didn't think I'd have a chance. I mean, I'm prepared to face danger.
Had a chance. Are you a curious person?
Oh, yes. Yeah, of course I am. This is where the meat of tales come from. Life experience.
Yeah. So it's kind of implied in the letter that join us and make our army bigger, and we'll, give you good pickings of the Mercians. Otherwise, we'll send what troops we have against you instead. So it was kind of a forceful pardon and offer.
Right. So there's a carrot and a stick at work.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So someone yells out, "Okay, found him," and there's an alarmed tone in their voice.
Oh, then the curious scald will have to go and see, because you can't make a ballad out of what people tell you.
I will accompany Ventusius to see what has happened to the champion.
Blackburn will stalk along silently behind, and player-wise, obviously, I'm very much interested in investigating supernatural and everything, but character-wise, Blackwin is going to say, "Fuck these bandits."
Yeah, but we can say you're keeping an eye on them to keep them alive.
Yeah. These fools, like.
Okay. You find him there. He's dead. He's got like puncture wounds all over him, like probably about 50, and there's a little bit of blood trickling out of each of them. And there's also several spots on his arms and legs. There's pentagrams that have been burnt into his flesh.
Oh, I prefer not to think of this tale, but
That definitely looks odd. That ain't right.
This seems frighteningly, possibly familiar. So I will roll plus Solj plus 1. That's a 9. I am going to invoke my courage because I don't hesitate. I examine these wounds intently because my repertoire is of heroes and battles. It allows me to do some healing, so I know of wounds and the like. So I would like to invoke courage, increase the debt to my god to 2.
Okay.
And make that a full-blown success.
I think you would get the feeling that what is happening is something your god opposes.
Yes. Yes. That's my premise. I've got 2 questions. What secrets can I remember about these kinds of wounds?
Not caused by a weapon.
Oh, you don't say.
Or I should say a physical weapon or creature. It's by magic.
Oh, dear me. Okay, and my second question is, in the tale that speaks of a warrior being smitten with these wounds, brought low by these wounds, what did they find out last time when it was too late?
He had an enemy, and they'd been working against him for a while. And this enemy was working against several heroes, but the third one was wise enough to sort of prevent it. It's a bit like the 3 Little Pigs.
Okay, so I will confide in this in Bull. Blackwin, did you follow us grudgingly, or are you just still sharpening your axe?
No, I did, yeah.
I will tell anyone, I think. The courageous thing to do here is to tell anyone that, and I'm assuming Gathmir is there as well. This man has been smitten by ill magic, and this is not something that happens in a blink of an eye. Someone has been casting this magic or setting a curse upon him for some time. Gathmir, one of these is a witch. And I point to his men or women, people.
Well, Varney also, hang on. This started happening when you folks showed up with your message. What's to say it's not one of you?
I take a step back to be within the swing of Blackwin's axe.
Listen, if you're worried that it's one of us, then I suggest that we leave, and you can be rest assured that the dangerous donkey and the prancing storyteller are far away from your delicate band of bandits.
A couple of them sort of go there for their weapons as if to say, how dare you talk about us like that?
Or, if you'd like, I am in the business of dealing with these things. And I work for anyone who can pay.
Can I use Believe Me to increase Blackwind's sort of demand there? Because I can try and keep NPCs out of danger by telling them the truth about the evil dark. So using what Ventusius has said, that it needs to be, it was a long cast magic. So clearly it's not us because we've only just arrived. But if they put their faith in us, basically put their faith in Blackwing, we can rid them of this evil as long as they cough up to a large degree.
That's quite a cunning plan.
I think that is
kind
quite.
of face an accusation, but it's kind of moved to convince someone.
Yeah. So Believe Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with my large cunning plan and my character move, Believe Me, roll subtle, which is +2. Oh, excellent. 4 and 4, that's 8 +2, 10. They'll do as you tell them. So I think they would be more than willing to pay all three of us, not just Blackwing, to sort out this problem for them. Because it's a long cast magic and it could not have come from us because we've only just arrived. Does that sound viable?
All right. So, Yothmir is sort of looking at Ventusius and he's like, all right, yeah. All right, you've got 3 days.
Let us hunt the wild hunt then, Blackwing. Because we are better hunters than those hunters. That is for sure, I've heard.
So you
I
look around
wouldn't
the area and stuff.
Yeah, well, what's a good thing to do? Yeah, we have a look about the area, I think, like look about the.
Oh, so I guess
Far.
one would roll and the others would assist, or
Yeah, unless my look at this could come into play. An important clue that you will find, although you may not make the value explicit as the GM. But let's let Blackwing, he may succeed in a role. If not, you could always use me as the backup.
Cool.
Okay.
He may get some experience if he fails, and we'll still find it.
Yeah. Nope. But of course, I rolled with Ventusius's dice by mistake, but I got a 12. So,
Excelente.
Blackwing is,
If you've used up that dice roll of 11 that I will need the next time I roll, I will not be happy.
It's not how it works, Alan. Put aside your superstitions.
Could we
Sympathetic magic is the only kind of magic you've got.
Could we have a quick 3-4 minute bio, please?
Sure.
Excellent.
Is my video any better?
Not really, Alan. No, no.
Wonder what it is.
I know your voice is coming through fine, but
Yeah.
you're just a bit choppy on the video, a bit blocky.
Right.
It's that BT internet. That's what it is.
Well, it could well be early morning in Yorkshire. You know, everyone's logging on. Thousands of people out here. Nothing else to do.
Do you count as the West Riding where you are?
We're the North Riding.
You're the North Riding.
Yeah, West Riding is Leeds and Bradford.
Okay.
No, we're probably north. Us.
I don't really understand the riding principle. It's just a northern thing. Has there been any more news about Games Expo, Alan?
I've not seen anything.
No, I'm just a bit worried that it still won't have gatherings of sort of like thousands of people. I'm not too sure whether that will be allowed even in August.
That's what I'm thinking. And even if it was, would I want to go? Is the harsh reality.
Yeah, of course you would. You've paid good money for a hotel.
Well, I have, but I don't know whether the idea of sitting around a table over a weekend with a lot of strangers, you know.
I'm relying on the fact that they're fat and unhealthy people, so they will have already have had it or died. So the people that are there will have herd immunity.
I'm so glad that this is being recorded.
Oh, damn! Yes.
But I mean, there is a bit of a stereotype about gamers, but yeah, it's risky everywhere you go, regardless. So
yeah, and to be honest, you know, I'm looking at 4 gamers here. So you know, you careful what you do with the tar on that brush, kid.
Yeah, well, it's not us; it's other people.
Dear.
Okay,
Alrighty.
we're good.
Yeah. Okay. He was doing look about me. Did I say roll? He did. Yes.
I did. Yes. Yeah. So I get a 10 plus. I hold 2. So does Varna look like she knows anything about this?
Because I thought you were going out and looking around the area.
Oh, well, yeah, I am. Yeah, it's just like, you know, I'm just asking from the questions, basically.
Yeah, well, we did have to convince the chief, so
yeah,
he was there. Is she there?
Yeah, she's there.
She was hanging off his arm.
Yeah, she's less relaxed than last night.
Okay, so she's tense about it.
She's less casual and playful than she was last night.
Yeah, cool. So I think that's enough to tell Blackwin that she's probably not behind this, or she would be smug and indulgent, as has been clearly shown to be her way already. So she may know something, but at the moment, let's set off, and because I can't confront her without tipping the hand to the rest of the band. So I'm told to ask the GM about the location or the situation, someone or something in the scene, what might have happened, might happen. I don't know how to ask in terms of like tracking whatever did this to its next. You know, if this was Monster of the Week, it would be like, where will it be kind of thing, you know?
Okay, well, you can look at the tracks. The only tracks in the area, apart from in the camp, is all the bandits, but around it, it's just Brennan. It's obvious he was sort of patrolling around the area.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
So I don't find any useful information.
You do find out that there's no tracks on the ground near him when he died.
I look in the trees.
I mean, you don't see nothing sort of up in the trees, but you do notice marks on the trunks of the trees. There's something gripped it and used it to launch off. So something maybe leaping tree to tree.
Okay. Can I follow those?
Conciliation.
Yeah. Can we follow those marked trees?
Yes, you can look around. Is Ventusius helping or staying back at the camp? Or?
Oh God, no. I need, you know, I need material for the next song.
I'd be more than happy to help Blackwin as well.
Well,
This
you know,
down.
I did the last look around you roll, right? So I'm happy to just knock on the tap on the wood and say, "Yeah, Bull, what do you make of this? Songsmith, come over here and have a look."
Oi, Ventusius, what do you think?
Again, stop me if I'm making too much use of. I prefer not to think of that tale.
I might stop you there. I think Bull said
Yeah.
he had a move about he can just find stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, an important clue or an item. So yeah, what is the important clue here?
All right, near the bottom of one of the trees, there's one of the sigils with the upside down cross on it.
Oh, look
Dun,
at that.
dun, dun.
That'd be the mark of the wild hunt and evil.
It's obviously fallen sort of on an angle into the mud, so it obviously fell from up somewhere. It wasn't just placed carefully or anything.
Now, in my experience, the Fae folk care nothing for the Christian God. Not even to turn his symbols upside down.
I would tend to agree with you. I'd like to look about me, please. Because I am wondering about those marks on the tree. So roll plus sense, roll plus 2. Here we go. That's an 8. So I hold 1. I would like to ask about something in the scene. These marks on the trees. Are they the kind of marks? I suppose it will depend on the kind of skin changer, wouldn't it? No, I tell you what, I will ask about someone who's been in the scene at least. Mm-hmm. The skin changer Vanya, was she wearing one of these symbols? Because we saw it on some of the men, some of the brigands. Was she wearing it? And have I just remembered that she wasn't wearing it now? Or most recent? Yes. Right.
Now, Vanya leaps out of the bushes with a dagger at Ventusius.
Pick an easy target, would she?
Yep, Blackweed.
I would like. Yeah, I would like
to her or protect him, or
I would like to protect him.
Hold up a scorecard with him.
Yeah. I think I will not again. And I get a 10 plus without rolling. I do not deflect harm, so I take the harm, but I get a 10 plus. So there we go. Protect someone. Choose a relevant effect. You know what? I'll inflict 1 harm on the threat. As smash my shield into her face.
All right. So she had a dagger and she's leaping, very long, powerful leap towards him. And yeah, you smacked her to the side. Ventusius, you are now aware that Vanya was trying to stab you. Bull, you'd be aware of it too, because she sort of snarled when she did it.
What did I tell you?
Evilness abounds. You were right, Blackwin. She needs to be dealt with.
What did I tell you, Skin Changer?
Please, God, hold this creature of the darkness. And I will invoke my Blessed by the Gods soul move.
Okay.
I will roll, and the rule for this has changed a bit, so I will roll plus soul minus debts currently incurred. So I currently I owe my god 2 already. Mm-hmm. So I'm rolling +1 minus 2, which is -1. I'd forgotten about that rule as I was cashing in god left. So that turns my 7 into a 6. And the move says, On 6-, they judge you unworthy. Something goes wrong and or draws immediate unwelcome attention.
Can I try and assist by also crying out to God?
Are
Being
you a Christian as
man?
well?
I am a
You're both
Christian.
Christians? Yep, okay.
I don't know if I can sort of assist.
Well, you can erase a debt to me in order to give me an improvement. If you look at the honor moves,
Okay, but
erase a debt.
I can't just do a assist, a help, hinder.
I think it's tricky when you're using a soul move, which is pretty unique to the individual.
Yeah,
I mean, I bow to Blake on this one, but I think it's stretching the fiction a bit.
Okay, I'm willing to assist you with a raising a debt.
Fine. So you erase a debt to me, and then fictionally it could be that it's a prayer.
Yes, I'm more than happy to sort of like, God, he's right. Help us in this time of need.
So I would like you to help or hinder me. So you agree to do that. A character they name, me, as if you'd rolled a 12 on help or hinder. So that improves my failure to a partial success. And on a partial success, hold 1 to have someone or something held fast for 1 action, force someone something to where you want them, or to have an object hit them that does 1 harm to them. So I would like to have her frozen for a moment by the power of God.
all right. So she's fighting it, and she looks like she's starting to get a bit furry, and she's kind of going to slash at you as she's running off.
Well, I was hoping I would hold her in place to give Blackwin 1 go.
Yeah, so she's frozen, but she's fighting it and seems very angry.
What did I tell you, woman?
Now's your chance, Blackwing.
Last chance. Last chance to tell us. Or we see if the second death takes firmer than the first.
She just sneers at you.
Think.
Okay. Are you knocking her out, or are you going to try and cut her head off? Or?
No, just kill her. Screw it. Like, not a man of subtlety or restraint.
Alright. The head comes off.
Cool.
And the body sort of forms into quite a large rat.
Is the head still human and the body rat-like?
No, they're both rat-like.
Oh, okay.
But it's a big rat.
Cool. Well, I find some token of Vania's on the floor along with the rat head.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, well, that was one of the easier hunts I've been on.
All right. Gathmir sort of comes into the clearing, and he seems sort of angry and upset at the same time. He throws down the gold and says, "Leave."
We'll take your good words to the king.
And thanks for the gold.
Aye.
Here's your problem. Mighty thanks of you.
I toss him the head.
Shot put.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay.
I will go and pick up the bag of coin and return it to Blackwin.
Here's your share, lads.
Oi, many thanks.
I don't feel I can take the gold. I felt this was the right thing to do, not something I would do for funding.
Well, God's work always requires some coin, so I'm more than willing to take it. Thank you very much, Blackwin.
I kind of think your god would reduce your debt, Ventusius.
Oh, because I just forgotten to increase it by 1 for so my debt is maxed out now at 3 after that divine intervention.
I think it would go down 1 because you stopped a satanic creature and
didn't take the money.
Reward. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, she had a pouch with some, and it looked like some evil rituals in it. They're in Latin, so Ventisius can read it. And it's pretty dark stuff.
Yeah, is there any sense of its origin? Do you want me to look about me to see if I can work out where this has originated from?
It looks like it was originally like Celtic rituals, and then people have sort of modified it to make it more for selfish ends and dark directions and stuff.
So I think that before we leave, I will want to take Gathmir to one side.
He's kind of stormed off. He's a bit in shock because you killed his girlfriend.
Then I will go after him.
Okay.
Because that is the courageous thing to do. And I put my hand on his shoulder.
He's just looking down. So what? I didn't know.
I'm sure you didn't, but I hold up the token of the inverted cross, and the charms, and I say, this is evil, Gathmir. Not bad, not immoral, but dark and evil. And she wore this token, and I've seen it on others of your men. Just take care, old friend.
He nods. Safe journey.
And I'll leave him to it.
All right. And some sort of vignette of you guys marching back out of the forest.
Sure. I think Blackwin is just going to promise Ventuvius's gold to the first starving orphan that they see, because that's what your god would want, right?
Yeah, there'll be some.
Frankly, for the second time, Ventusius is speechless.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if anyone wants anything else, we'll wrap that up there.
Yeah, worked well. Yeah, so we shall leave the woods. Get some speed.
Pause button there. All right. Is there like an end of session give out experience thing, Alan?
There is. So there are just below the experience track. There is end of session experience. So there are, if you blah, then blah. Thank you.
Landed the first blow in a dangerous foe and addressed the challenge of violence. I think I did both of them.
If the rules ever get beyond just a bunch of play sheets, then it will say something like, if the table agrees that, then. So I'd like to agree that, then.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find up the sheets.
Just below wounds.
Oh, it's on the actual character sheet.
It's on the character sheet. Yeah. I think I could probably tick both of mine, which is put yourself at risk by confronting a better. Clearly, that massive unit that I fought
I think you both got it.
was my better.
Sorry, all three of you got both.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think I put myself at risk to compose a new tale, and I address some challenges with knowledge. So both of those. And so that's once a session. What again? If it ever gets beyond a bit of paper, it'll say, make a note of it on the character sheet, and then transfer it to your experience track, and untick them for next time. Yeah.
Yep.
Paul and Will, do you think Alan did anything sort of cool role playing that you should get some more EXP for that made the session better, or?
What, is that part of the rules, or because otherwise I'm going to feel very cruel when I go no. I mean,
it's not in the rules, but maybe it should be.
I definitely think the sort of the beating of the drum and the continued annoyance of Blackwing with the drumming. I definitely think Alan sort of, for a new character, made it a bit larger than life and introduced it quite well. Although, can we -1 from him for having such a hard to pronounce name?
Yeah.
I just kept going blank. It's a long week. All right, so you can give himself a point for that.
Thank you.
Alan and Will, do you think Paul did something that made the character memorable or cool or fearsome?
Yeah, I love I love the simple-minded, God-fearing, donkey-loving and dirty fighting peasant, basically. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I'll just add to the end, as there's a sort of the camera zooms up above the woods as the woods thin out, and you guys are sort of marching towards a village. There's a stag that's sort of following the party, and it looks towards the camera, and it's got glowing eyes.
Oh, very nasty.
And can I put? Did we have that conversation about Blackwind? Because I think we all ought to. Because I think, Will, you always play Blackwind with that kind of, that steely-eyed. There is one solution to this, but there were a couple of times this time, where you could have addressed a challenge with violence, and you kind of just relaxed a bit. I thought there was nuance in Blackwind today. So
yeah, with the bread, I definitely think.
Yeah,
what you're saying is right there, Alan.
No one threatened him or his friends. They just gave him the choice between violence and not doing it, and he doesn't really care all that much about this kind of thing. It's just a paycheck at the end of the day. So,
I get a point for that. Like,
at some point, I think he's gonna have to shift character playbooks to Monster Hunter, because for that one, you actually get experience for taking money for jobs.
Yeah, I mean, he's willing to, if they'd been innocent people, perhaps, like the people of his village that were killed. But as they're all scumbag bandits.
So Bull and Blackwind didn't get failure XP for 6- rolls?
No, I don't think we
did
ever
not fail a
failed.
single roll. No.
It's just
Ventusius gets another move.
playbook move.
Yeah. I'm not quite certain what it will be.
That's fine. Take your time.
Yeah. No, I'll think about that by next time.
No worries. All right. Any feedback? Good, bad, in between?
Really good. The way you sort of led us into it, I don't know if that went at the speed that you were intending, but I thought it worked out really well, Blake. That crumb trail led us to exactly where you wanted to lead us to.
Yeah, I thought it worked really a bit longer, but
no, it worked really well.
Yeah. Go on, Will.
I just want to say that, I enjoyed stomping around in Saxon pagan times again, and it didn't feel any less authentic for it not being Alan running it, which...
that's a good thing.
I see what you mean about perhaps it, like, thinking those scenes would go for longer, but I think the fact that we had a mission to accomplish kind of... I mean? Like, there's no victims at risk other than ourselves, and we have a mission from the people, so we're sort of like, why poke around about this wild hunt when I was assuming that it would attack us at any moment as we ran through the forest, kind of thing, but I enjoyed all of it, and Blackwind got to kill someone for the second time, which is
which is a first, I think.
Yeah, so far, yeah.
No, I thought it went very well. To be honest, though your ending there has us leaving the forest, I think I would be quite interested, now that our mission is complete, I am interested in what happened to that young woman, to be honest. Yeah. So if we were doing stars and wishes, my wish would be not that I just march back to Beda with the word that they're up for it. I think that now I would like to investigate some of the breadcrumbs, because we're not kind of bound to get where we were going.
Yeah, definitely. I think Blackburn would totally be, if you were like that we should find who
check
this
out the stuff in the
person.
woods more and figure out what's going on.
Yeah. That's definite. Good bread crumb trail left there. So why not pick up the thread?
Find who this woman was. Maybe tell her people that she's dead. That kind of thing. You know, like Blackwind's got a soft spot for
Dead women,
broken families, victims. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Victims. She didn't look at all like his daughter, did she?
No, that would be rough.
Yeah. Well,
Also,
I
played her, so you know.
I had this half suspicion that I'm not sure quite where Aedwin's story ended up. That the bandit leader was going to be Aedwin in the forest.
Nah, that would be weird for me to do that when she was one of my players' characters. So.
Hey, I mean, who better to make into a GM PC, right?
No, she fought a demon and they won, but she kind of lost her shit and just thought, I'm getting the hell away from this area.
Okay, yeah.
Good reason.
Yeah. It cracks me up that Blackman still has no idea that his daughter's alive, and every other character who's played with him has met Aedwin as well. Like,
from a sort of a rules and a character sheet perspective, could we possibly have a religious drop down on there? For are you I mean, myself and Ventusius are Celtic, but we're Christians. Can you have a non-Celtic Christian? I think you could.
You could. Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
And maybe for people that are just sort of new, sat at a table or something, or online, while you've done that God's Debts and Temptations thing, maybe just it's cast in stone there. You know, that is your religious point of view. While it could change, you know, between sessions, I think it would root it nicely for the session to stop people maybe being a bit unsure or flitting.
Heritage, look, and faith, maybe.
Oh, good point there, Will. Yes.
The kind of setting materials, there's an implied assumption that Saxons are pagan and Celts, ordinary Celtic folk are Celtic Christians,
Okay.
and likewise anyone with Romano-British heritage, and that some hang on to the pagan faith of the old gods of the Celts. And so far in play, that's been pretty much limited to the pagan mystic playbook. But it would be worth perhaps making it more explicitly clear that the starting assumptions are Saxon pagan, Celtic Christian, and then apart from the pagan mystic. And maybe the monstrous ones might have a bit of flexibility.
So as Will said, heritage and look and faith. Just add it in there.
Yeah, or even just wrap, into heritage, Celtic Christian, Saxon pagan. Make it as simple as that. Wrap them together. Yeah. No, that's a reasonable point, I think. Thank you.
I still find that fight option like if I'd read it myself, I wouldn't have the same conclusion that you had.
Oh, right.
Because it's like, roll plus savage, and a 7+ your exchange harm is established, or choose a relevant effect from the list. And I get that. It's just having the spot a weak point and inflict 1 extra harm, even if choosing not to exchange harm. Whereas you're not. So that would really, it makes sense when you roll a 10+, right? Because but on a 10+, there isn't the option not to take harm. Like it's not like that spot a weak point and inflict 1 extra harm, even if choosing not to exchange harm, kind of seems to conflict with if you get a 7 and you choose that effect, then are you dealing 1 extra harm in addition to your normal harm, but you're not taking harm because you've chosen an extra effect. But if you get a 10+, you don't have the option of not exchanging harm anyways. So
could you add another? So can you split that in two and say you could spot a weakness and inflict additional damage, but you would still take damage, or is the other option reduce incoming damage by 1? So.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you're probably right. I'm trying to kill too many birds with one stone there, to try and keep it concise. Because I have to say, I played burned over Star Wars, which has a do battle move, which now has a number of complications and options in it. And I've been trying to avoid getting that involved. So I guess that the way around this is that, again, if this ever gets to be more than a couple of sheets of reference material, that in the rules on that move, it would be more explicit about interpreting it. Or Will, are you saying that fictionally it makes no sense, or just as written it's over complex?
I think as written, it's sort of, on a 7+ and on a 10+, like it's not consistent. Like the wording of it kind of like contradicts itself in both situations, kind of thing.
Okay.
Because you can't choose not to exchange harm. And if you're in a situation where you rolled a 7+ and you are choosing an effect rather than exchanging harm, then you're still dealing your full harm. So why would you ever not choose that? Like I would deal 3 harm and not take any harm.
Oh,
right?
No, but yes, and so you would. But Ventusius with his 1 harm hidden dagger, against something substantial, I'm never going to win the exchange harm one.
No,
but
this
I
just
could
allows him just to do a small, minuscule amount of damage
without getting hurt.
So would it be best to remove the word extra?
Yes. Of course, it has to fulfill 2 parts, because if you did exchange harm, you could choose it and it would be extra.
Well, I mean,
I think I need 2 bullet points.
If you get rid of even if choosing not to exchange harm, because that isn't an option,
Yeah, I think probably I need to have 2 bullets there, because I think they are doing different things.
Maybe, and I appreciate it being there, but maybe get to remove something in return would be the draw all danger foes to you, because that is, I feel, more thematic for like the protect someone role.
I was thinking it from a low damage character point of view, like me and Vetusius. Is it nice to have something on 7? Because 7 is still some kind of success.
Yeah.
Something that says, we just do a smidgen small amount of damage, but we don't take a boatload of damage. That's why I quite like it. But probably for high damage creatures, characters, it's not particularly great. But there's 2 sort of sides to look at it.
I think if I say spot a weak point and inflict 1 extra harm, so that's something that Blackwing could do on a 10+. So he exchanges harm, knowing that he's got armor that can absorb and he can do a lot of harm, and then he chooses that one as his bonus. But then underneath it, put something like if you don't exchange harm, still inflict a pinprick 1 harm.
Yeah, that would satisfy both types of characters.
I think that's I think I've tried to wrap it together into one, whereas actually I'm trying to say 2 things with it. So I'll give that a bit of thought. Probably not by next time, I have to say, but you never know.
That's right. I'm just going to end the broadcast.
Oh yes, sorry, we're still recording. Sorry, Blake.